justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
You can't be an extra, then how can we be an extra? Well, we weren't in the first thing out there. Okay.
Help! Police! Police! Damn, what happened? This man stole from my store. Sorry, I'm gonna need to get your information. What time were you here?
After the incident, the homeless man was processed and brought in for questioning.
Sit down.
Do you not have anything to say for yourself?
If you would just fess up, no one would get hurt. You know how this works. I'm sure you've been here before.
I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong? Your fingerprints were all over the bags. And when I went out there, you were picking them up. How do you explain that?
The real guy that stole them, he stole them.
The real guy? Who else was there? Because I didn't see anyone else besides an angry store clerk.
He ran away.
He ran away. Really? Well, can you prove it? Did you see anyone else there? Didn't think so. So, are you going to make this easier for you and tell me what really happened? You're no good. You're sitting on the ground feeling sorry for yourself, hungry. What other reason would you have besides to go steal the food since you can't afford to buy it for yourself? And now you can't even use the least bit of dignity you have left to tell the truth? Unbelievable.
I didn't do it.
Stop right there. I'm his appointed lawyer. Don't say anything. So you just so happen to be sitting outside that particular store when the crime took place? Don't answer that. Why were your fingerprints on the DNA? Why were you reaching for the evidence? Don't answer that. Do you have anything to say for yourself at all? Do not answer that. I think we're done here.
Along with his newly appointed lawyer, the homeless man builds a case to prove his innocence.
Just remember the game plan. If you follow it, then everything will be okay.
Meaning the court case of Krista's Corner and Joe Hallett. First, the prosecutors may state why we have been bothered with this case.
Well, Your Honor, my client, Krista Foxworth, is accusing Joe Hallett of theft in the first degree.
I'm going to need opening statements from the prosecutors. If you may please stand and give those statements.
Your Honor, we're here today because that man has stolen goods from my client, Krista Foxworth, from Krista's Corner, and that is what brings us here today.
Your Honor, my client has been falsely accused of theft, but he is innocent. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now that the opening statements are done, I'm going to ask the prosecutors to bring up their first witness.
Your Honor, I'd like to bring my first witness, Krista Foxworth, to the stand. Foxworth, you said that man has stolen from you. What do you recall him stealing?
He stole a bag of chips from my store.
And that brings us to our first evidence. Here you go. A bag of chips that was in his possession when he was arrested. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, then now that the prosecutors have finished their statements, the defendants may now ask questions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Foxworth, did you actually see him take the chips?
I didn't have a clear view when he left the store, but he had them in his hands when I left. Besides, I mean, look at him. He's homeless. Of course it was him.
So you didn't see him take the chips?
No further questions, Your Honor.
After hours of arguments from either side, the judge became impatient.
Okay, we've all had enough. So, he obviously looks capable enough to steal a bag of chips. So we're gonna go ahead and get on with the final statements.
Your Honor, just look at this sorry disgrace of a human being. Who else would go out of his way to steal from an honest, living woman?
Your Honor, do you recall the MLK I Have a Dream speech? Do you remember the words he spoke as he fought for righteousness for all of mankind? That he had a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice and sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. And how do you expect society to reach that peace if we continue to make faulty accusations based upon what? A bad haircut and a tragic situation? This man did not commit this crime, and it is heartbreaking that we still live in a generation where appearances have such significance. A generation Martin Luther King Jr. fought so hard to break free of. So I ask you again, Your Honor, will you rethink your sentence towards Mr. Joe?
Okay, I think I've heard enough. So now that we clearly know that...
One moment, Your Honor. We have more evidence. This here proves that Mr. Joe was not guilty and that this is the real culprit.
You can't be an extra, then how can we be an extra? Well, we weren't in the first thing out there.
Okay.
You know,
New icy clear.
Shut up. Go get him, Kristen.
We know you did it.
Alright, meeting the court case of Krista's corner to Joe Hallett. No, this one. Okay. Meeting the court case...
Miss Foxworth. Miss Foxworth, do you recall? Krista.
Have more evidence. This here proves that Mr. Joe was not guilty and that this is the real culprit.